Nicaragua. Today we have the pleasure of uh, our six wonderful institutions being represented with our friends today from Jefferson State Community College, Study Alabama, University of North Alabama. We have the University of Alabama, the University of South Alabama, and Jacksonville State University that will be sharing wonderful information today with us today. As First Lady Jill Biden said, community colleges are the best kept secret of America at this moment. So, first of all, I want to welcome our representatives from these institutions today. We have Stacy Fraser Thompson, Coordinator of International Student Services at Jefferson State Community College. We have Chandni Khadgawash, Chair of Study Alabama and Director of International Housing Programs. We have Shelly Moss, Assistant Director of International Admissions of the University of Alabama. Akali Fulmer, International Admissions Coordinator at the University of North Alabama. And Hannah Murphy, Director of Global Outreach, University of South Alabama. So before we get into discovering the first, the very first kept secret of the Americas, community colleges, I want to talk to you guys about Education USA. What is Education USA? And I will just be brief so that we can get into the important information of today's webinar. So Education USA is the Department of State network. As we are sponsored by ECA, the State Department of Bureau Educational and Cultural Affairs. We provide free access, introductory information to students who would like to study in the United States, merely international students from throughout all of our region. Some of the services that we provide are how to find that right fit, how to find that institution that is the one for you, how to find financial aid, how to finance your studies, how to complete your college application, how to apply for your student visa. We do not have a saying in this, but we can guide you throughout the whole process. And also how to prepare for your departure. These are some among the free services that we provide, as well as connecting, being that bridge between US institution and our country. So these are some of the common or most common questions that we usually get from international students. Does Education USA have scholarships? Unfortunately, we do not have scholarships. We do help students find that right fit in those institutions that are the adequate for them. Can you help me find a short-term study abroad program or an internship abroad? Definitely, these are also part of our services. Are there opportunities to improve my English, as we will see today in today's presentation?
Ooh, Jackson, you're muted.
I thought I was talking. I'm sorry.
No, you were, and then you got muted. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's okay. All right. So some of the what are the opportunities to improve my English? Of course, these are also uh, opportunities that our international students have. Do you have any partnerships or agreements with specific U.S. colleges and universities in the U.S.? Within this, we represent the 4,700 universities and also the 1,200 community colleges. So we are unbiased and we provide comprehensive and correct information to all those international students who seek our help. Um, this is my contact information for those Nicaraguan students or anyone abroad who would like to reach out. We have our main website, educationusa.state.gov. On Facebook, you can find us at Education USA Nicaragua. On Twitter, Education USA Nic. And the email address where you can reach out to me for a free advisory session is manawat at educationusa.org. And on the bottom, you have my the address where you can find me. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, at this moment, we are not holding in-person sessions. So right now, all of our advice and sessions are done virtually through a platform such as Zoom, Skype, or even uh, WhatsApp. So make sure to reach out and I will get back to you so that we can schedule a session. All right. Remember that all of our Education USA services are completely free so that you guys can um, take advantage of the opportunity to find the right fit. So with any more delays, I want to introduce our wonderful guests today, and I will leave you with them in right now. Take it away, Stacy.
Thank you. I had to figure out how to unmute myself. So the wonders of technology, always a beautiful thing. So thank you all for having us today. I'm going to get a PowerPoint up, so bear with me just a moment. Can you confirm you can see my beautiful screen?
There it is.
Okay. It's slowly functioning. Okay, there we go. So hopefully you're seeing our wonderful fall colors in central Alabama and northern Alabama. Those are some of the colors you would see in October and November. Alabama is located in the southeastern part of the United States, north of Florida, left of Georgia, right of Mississippi. So if you wanted to look at a map, you'd be able to find us. As Jackson has already told you, I'm here with some of my wonderful colleagues from some of the four-year universities in the state of Alabama, and I'm from Jefferson State Community College, which is in central Alabama in the city of Birmingham, which is the largest city in the state. We are a state that has a wide variety of educational opportunities. The way that it works in the United States is if you flow from high school or secondary education, as you may know it, you have a two-year community college as an option, or some students can go straight to university. So what we're talking about today is how to pathway from high school to community college to four-year university. If you're trying to do upper level education, it would give you some opportunities to find ways to get affordably through the system. So a little bit about Study Alabama. We are an organization that promotes study in the state of Alabama as a whole. We have a couple of high schools that are members. As well, we have 4 community colleges that are part of it. The Alabama Community College system actually has 25 community colleges in the central, south, and northern part of the state. These are some of our university members, and the ones that I've highlighted here are the ones that are present with me today. So Alabama, as I said, here we are in the southeastern region. Jackson was just telling us it's quite warm in Nicaragua right now. In Alabama right now, it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the summer, it will be like Nicaragua in Alabama. We're a very warm climate in the summer, very hot, very humid. We have coastal regions, mountainous regions, all kinds of different flavors depending on what you're interested in. We do have beaches on the Gulf Coast in the south near Mobile, which is near Hannah Murphy School. And we have mountains in the north. And in the center, we have the largest urban center. So we have something for everybody. So if you prefer a smaller environment, a larger environment, we have something for everything. These are our temperatures. So right now we're kind of like in the mid range of 26 Celsius. That's actually our temperature today. With our winters, we got snow for one day this year. We got 1 inch and it was melted by 3 o'clock. So we do get winter, just not very long. It's pretty short. We get lots of rain. We've had tons of rain lately. We have 4 full seasons. This is Birmingham, my city, with the downtown. We have about 1.2 million people, and this is the city of Mobile in the south. These are the 2 largest centers, and we have Huntsville to the north, which is known for its space and rocket ties. Birmingham is known for its healthcare, And Mobile is known for being a import city where we do a lot of trade because it's a port city. Some of the small cities we have, including Tuscaloosa and Jacksonville that are represented here today, and Florence, are considered some of our smaller cities. They're in more regional areas of the state that could be very mountainous and very close to the country and have small, more traditional downtown settings. We have 54 colleges and universities, from everything from small liberal arts colleges to nationally recognized Research One institutions. Of the majors we have in the state, we have over 154 majors represented and over 55 career programs available, depending on which institution you go to. We have a low cost and affordable cost of living, and there are a lot of institutions that do offer scholarship opportunities depending on your academic background. We have over 425 international employers that are invested in Alabama, and automotive industry has become a very large part of the manufacturing in the state of Alabama. And we also have a lot of fantastic opportunities here in the state for activities. If you want to do tourism, we have golfing if you like to play. We have a lot of hiking. We are considered one of the largest forested states in the southern region of the United States. So if you like nature, there's a lot of opportunity for hiking and doing nature activities. We like food. We like to eat. That is definitely something that we definitely have in common with everybody. We like lots of food. Barbecue is our thing, but if you don't like that, we have lots of vegetables. This is turnip greens. We got sweet potatoes, we got black-eyed peas and cornbread here. So that'll give you some samples of some of the cuisine you might be able to try here. We also have a lot of traditions in food and football. That is our biggest sport in the state. Alabama that's here is the national champion in the United States right now in the SEC. So this is me. I work at a 2-year community college, as I said, in the center of Alabama. Jefferson State has 4 campuses around metropolitan Birmingham. We have several different campuses that support the different geographic areas around the city. So our theme is to find your place at Jefferson State. The nice thing about community colleges is you have a small environment and a lot of intimacy with your faculty, which allows you a chance to connect and find out ideas. So if you don't exactly know what you want to do for a living, we can help you find and explore your opportunities. If you do know what you want, we can give you a pathway. So we have over 120 transfer degree majors, which are considered 45% of our students. What transfer degrees are called the Associates of Arts or the Associates of Science. This is a 2-year degree that's considered your first and second year of a bachelor's degree. So you would do 2 years with Jefferson State, then transfer and do 2 more years to earn your 4-year bachelor's degree. So, but we have a very big price differential. Our tuition is about 60% less than the average 4-year institutions. If you want something that would instead be a 2-year career program, we have over 54 majors that are available if you're interested in doing something for 2 years and immediately going on to go to work. While you're in the United States on an F1 visa, you do get the entitlement of a 1-year work permit when you graduate. So you not only get an opportunity for education, but you also get an opportunity to get training while you're here. The most common majors that a lot of my international students are doing are things like computer programming, nursing, respiratory therapy, and business. Those are the top 4 majors amongst most of the international students within the community colleges in Alabama. Though we do offer other things. We have culinary program, including being a chef or a pastry chef. We also have different things like office management and construction management. So if you have anybody that's interested in doing sustainable architecture, things like that, those are some of the things that are available, as well as we talked about with the foreign direct investment, we have automotive manufacturing as one of the fields. So as I was mentioning some of the health programs, these are just a few that are offered at Jefferson State. There are other community colleges within the state that do offer other allied health programs in addition to these, but these are the ones available directly through Jefferson State. So the Jefferson State is the second largest two-year community college in the state of Alabama. We have over 9,000 students in the metropolitan campuses of Jeff State. We have a lot of transfer students. Some of the biggest transfers that we have go to the University of Alabama at Birmingham, Auburn, Montevallo, Samford, University of Alabama, and some of the other, that's Bama, is the University of Alabama, Birmingham, Southern, Samford, and else to some of the other institutions that are present here today. We have small classes. The average is 21 students to one faculty, so you have a lot of opportunity if you need help or if you need to talk to someone that you can talk to. We have what we call a guaranteed transfer program in the state of Alabama. This is where we have a STARS program. This is a statewide transfer and articulation reporting system. For all of the universities in the state, we follow a central core curriculum. So if you're trying to go for business, you would prepare the same first 2 years for most of the four-year institutions in the state. And we would help guide you through that with our advisors. These are some of the career programs. I've already mentioned a couple. We have some very unusual ones like funeral service, criminal justice, medical laboratory technology. This is an example of someone who's doing physical therapy. This is a testimonial from one of my international students. She's a culinary chef, and she was just talking about some of her experiences with Jefferson State. So I would like to now pass this on to some of our university partners. So one of the biggest things that I would like to explain about two-year colleges before I pass it on is that you have an opportunity to start in a small setting. Usually we have a little bit lower TOEFL or IELTS requirement. The community colleges in Alabama require a 61 on the TOEFL or a 5.5 on the IELTS to start at our two-year institution. We do not require the ACT or the SAT for admission. We just have to have proof of completion of high school, and none of us charge an application fee. We are what we call open enrollment institutions. We do provide easy access. You do have to have proof of English proficiency and high school completion. My institution requires an evaluation of your high school. If you've had any university credits, those would also need to be evaluated to determine if you could transfer those credits. It is possible if you've already done some schoolwork in your home country to potentially transfer some of that. So now I'm going to turn it over to my lovely colleague, Chandni Khadgawash from Jacksonville State University. Chandni?
Thank you, Stacy. So will you be going through slides? Thank you so much.
Yep, I'll be your slide chick.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Chandni Khadgawash. I was born and raised in a beautiful country, Nepal, in Asia. I moved to the United States in 2005 as an international student myself, and I have been living in the United States for past 16 years. I currently serve as the Director of International Housing Programs at Jacksonville State University that I'm going to talk to you about. Can you switch to next slide, please? So Jacksonville State University, that I will refer to as JSU, is in the northeastern part of the state, Alabama. As you just saw on the previous slide, there was a map of Alabama and it showed where Jacksonville State was. JSU was established in 1883 as public university. The campus is spread over 459 acres with 53 buildings. We are home to 9,000 students from around the state and around the world. Currently, we have 47 countries represented on campus. We offer 95 different academic programs and concentrations through 6 schools that we have, and we have nearly 460 faculty members. Stacy, can you please switch to another slide?
Can you see I did switch? You need more? Okay, that one? Okay, sorry.
We go on to the next one. So I'm going to touch on some why JSU points quickly so that you can consider Jacksonville State University as one of your options for higher education. So the first why, if I have to point out, will be the location. JSU is located in a quiet, small town on a countryside away from hustle and bustle of the big cities. Our class size is small, so we take pride in being a student-centered university. Our average class size is 18:1, which allows instructors and professors to pay closer attention to students' needs and ensure your academic success. The third point will be different student leadership opportunities that we have on our campus for international students. We have over 100 student organizations and interest groups that you can be part of. You can represent your country and culture through various activities on campus, such as United Nations Day Tea, Tasters Fair, Hispanic Heritage Celebration, and so on. As students, you can take on leadership roles and serve on our organizations or programs such as Global Ambassador, International Student Organization, JSU Ambassador, Go Leaders, and so on. All these opportunities can help students connect with the rest of the campus community, as well as help build their communication, leadership, and team building skills. The fourth one will be things to do. Although we are not in an urban area, we have plenty of things to do around the campus and in the surrounding areas. If you are into fitness and active living, you can access our University Recreation Center that you can see the picture on the slide, which houses 43 feet indoor rock climbing wall, indoor and outdoor swimming pools, basketball court, different fitness programs, gym, indoor walking track, gathering hubs, as well as Starbucks. And then there are many fun things to do outside of campus as well. You can go for hiking in Cheaha Mountain, which is the highest point in Alabama. You can go for a bike ride in Chief Ladaiga Trail, fish in many lakes and rivers. We are in a countryside, so you have access to all these natural resources that you can use. You can take short trips to civil rights museums in Birmingham, watch live NASCAR race in one of the longest and world-renowned race tracks, Talladega Super Speedway. So you have plenty of things to do within the campus and outside of the campus. Next slide, please. I think there is a delay. And this is the last but not least, one of the points that I would like to highlight is lower cost of living in the state of Alabama, no matter which part of the state you go to. And in addition to that, our university offers many scholarship opportunities for students, especially to assist academically gifted students if they have financial needs. Next slide, please. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the transfer pathway programs. Stacy just talked about 2 years program or associate degree in community colleges that you can get into. And after you finish associate degree or 2 years program in community college, you can look into transferring to the universities for remaining 2 years and obtain your bachelor degree if that's the route you would like to go. We have transfer pathway program agreements with several community colleges in Alabama, and you can see them listed on the slide, which will help students make the seamless transition to JSU after you complete your associate degree or 2 years in the community college. The 3 community colleges highlighted on this page are our Study Alabama members. Next slide, please. So these are the list of some of the programs that we have specific articulation agreements with. You can see accounting, pre-health profession, music, nursing. As I mentioned before, we offer 95 different academic programs and concentration, and you can see not all 95 of them are listed here. So if you are interested in any other majors that you don't see them on this slide, we should still be able to accept you as transfer student, because Stacy just mentioned about STARS, and that helps students who are enrolled in community colleges in Alabama to be able to transfer their credits to any universities in the state of Alabama. The STARS guide helps students select the classes that would seamlessly transfer to the universities in Alabama. So when you choose one of these community colleges to come to in Alabama, you could work with the advisor to make sure that you are taking classes that would seamlessly transfer to the university that you would like to eventually go to. Next slide, please. So this is just a snapshot of the tuition and fees if you are to come to JSU for remaining 2 years. So the tuition and fees is approximately $21,000 per year for 30 credit hours. This is, of course, with no scholarships. Next slide, please. As a transfer student, we have a couple of scholarships that students can take advantage of, which will help you offset some of the tuition cost. So we offer presidential transfer scholarship of $3,000 per semester for students with GPA of more than 3.5. So if you finish out your associate degree or have earned at least 45 credit hours and your transferring GPA is 3.5, you will be awarded $3,000 per semester scholarship for 2 years. And if your GPA is between 3.0 to 3.5, then you will be awarded $1,500 scholarship per semester for 2 years. Next slide, please. So on this slide, you will see the picture of two students who serve as our current global ambassadors for transfer undergraduate programs. These two students from South Africa and Bolivia transferred in from the community colleges in Alabama and are on track to graduate with bachelor's degree from our university. Okay, and the last slide is my contact information. I hope you found this information useful. If you have further questions, you can always contact any one of us, but this is my contact information. Thank you so much.
And now we're going to turn it over to Shelly Moss with the University of Alabama.
Great. Thanks, Stacy. Hello, everyone. I'm Shelly Moss, the Assistant Director of International Admissions at Alabama. So I'm excited to share a little bit about our campus and some of our transfer opportunities that you may have. So when we think about why the University of Alabama, we are considered the flagship institution in the state of Alabama. We are the large, major, comprehensive institution that will offer that classic U.S. university experience to you. If you have an image in your mind that you've seen in either movies or TV shows or maybe read in books, we probably are that. Beautiful campus, lots of beautiful buildings and green space where you can feel at home. Legendary network of graduates. Our tagline for the university is "Where legends are made," and we believe that you can be a legend in your own right in a few years' time. Degrees from us are recognized globally. We have a footprint that reaches all around the world, and our brand is consistently recognized for that. Stacy mentioned it earlier, but we are one of the top athletic schools in the U.S. I'll talk a little bit about that. And then just within the state of Alabama in general, we feel like you'll experience some great Southern hospitality and friendliness. All right, next slide, Stacy.
There seems to be a delay even when I do change it, so.
Okay, no worries. So just a brief snapshot of Alabama. We were founded in 1831, so we've been around for quite some time. Large campus population with almost 38,000 students. All 50 US states are represented, as well as 77 different countries. At the undergrad level, with different combinations of things, We have almost 200 different degree programs. So we are a great transfer institution because we most likely will have what you're interested in, however broad or maybe unique it might be. 23-to-1 student to faculty ratio, lots of great things to do on campus with over 650 plus student organizations, and just an extremely safe and a welcoming environment. Next slide, Stacy. Some of our legends. I won't talk about all of these, just a couple of them that are pictured there, but there's a couple of these people you may have seen before, one you may not. The male on the bottom left there is someone that you've probably never seen, but I know you've probably been to his website. That's Mr. Jimmy Wales. He's one of the co-founders of Wikipedia, also a proud resident and from the state of Alabama. So we can all claim him and have our claim to fame with him. But he co-founded Wikipedia while he was a graduate student on our campus. So it actually lived on our servers on campus for a bit. Beside him is Mr. Derrick Henry. If you're a fan of the National Football League, he is one of the current stars in that and was on one of our championship football teams. Up above him is Miss Sonequa Martin Green. If you're a fan of the television show The Walking Dead, you may have seen her. She's one of our fine and performing arts graduates. And for those of you that are interested in business, the person beside her is Miss Marilyn Hewson. She is the recently retired CEO of Lockheed Martin, which is a large defense contracting organization. All of these people have given of their time and resources to campus, and they're people that you may actually get to meet while you're here. But the list goes on, and we produce legends every day.
I think
so when we talk to So when we talk about some of our degree programs, again, we have 200 plus at the undergraduate level. You can see some of our program rankings there. We're extremely well known for things like engineering. We were one of the first 5 institutions in the United States to offer an engineering program. Also have excellent programs in finance, management, marketing. We actually have the top public relations program in the United States as well. But a couple of rankings I do want to pay attention to here. We are a Carnegie R1 research university, and so that means that you'll be learning from some of the best in terms of faculty in the classroom. Faculty love to work at an R1 research university. We attract experts in their fields that do a lot of great work that our students also get to participate in. We also rank number 2 in the US for internship opportunities. We know how important that real world practical experience is for students. So we want to help them to get a really meaningful internship type experience along with their program. We also have lots of degrees that are marketable globally. A couple of these logos are ones that you've seen earlier from the Study Alabama slide, but these are just some examples of some places that our students have interned or may work. Some of these have specific Alabama connections, such as Mercedes-Benz, which has the North American production plant about 15 minutes from our campus in Tuscaloosa, as well as NASA, that has the Space and Rocket Center in Huntsville, Alabama, and they actually help make the rockets that NASA then uses to go out and do their exploration work. I also mentioned athletics at the beginning, and we are one of the top athletic schools in the US with 15 different NCAA Division I teams. We're most well known for our American football tradition. We have 27 total national championships in sports, and 18 of those come in American football. The bottom photo there on the slide shows you our football stadium that's one of the top 10 largest in the US. So lots of great opportunities to show some school spirit and pride, and lots of great things to do when you're not in class. And I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about the transfer process to the University of Alabama. Again, we are a very transfer-friendly institution with the STARS program that's been mentioned already, as well as the many different opportunities to major in over 200 plus programs. But if you are interested in applying to the University of Alabama, it all starts with their application online and a $40 application fee. And then we only really need 3 pieces of information. That includes your passport and your visa, if you have one. We'll need a credential evaluation report from any non-US transcripts that you may have. That can be done any of the NACES agencies. I believe there are close to 15 or so of those that you can choose from. That process, all we're looking for is a 2.0 on a 4-point scale, and then some sort of English proficiency. And we accept a variety of things for that. Once you complete those steps, we'll make an admissions decision very quickly. We make decisions on a rolling basis, so we're always doing those. So we don't have to wait for a certain time of the year or anything like that. You'll know usually within about 3 to 4 business days once we get everything in that we need. And then after that, you may qualify for some scholarship opportunities. And so once you're admitted to the University of Alabama, you'll have access to a scholarship application. And the scholarships range from anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000, depending on if maybe you're a member of an organization called Phi Theta Kappa, which is an honorary society at the 2-year level. And whether you've been to a 2 or a 4-year institution, you may qualify for that Roll Tide scholarship worth $6,000. The big one that we offer is the Capstone Transfer, which is for students with 45 plus hours and at least a 3.5, and it does cover our out-of-state tuition cost. So great opportunities for transfer students. We love our transfer students at the University of Alabama and would love to have you join us.
Okay, is it my turn now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was talking and I didn't unmute myself. So okay. Yes, Akali, it's your turn. So
okay, everybody, good evening, and welcome to the beautiful state of Alabama. My name is Akali Fulmer, and I am the International Admissions Coordinator here at the University of North Alabama. Thank you all so much for joining this session. We hope that this session will be very, very productive and fruitful for you. To begin with, University of North Alabama is located in the northern part of Alabama, which is connected to some of the beautiful cities and big cities. We are in a medium-sized college town, which is very quiet, laid back, and very safe. I have traveled to many places and lived in many big cities. So when I moved here to Florence, I fell in love, and it's a really very, very welcoming place and welcoming town, especially the university. We are like a family, very family oriented. So we know each of our students by name and their needs. Because of the time, limited time that we have, I'm not going to play this video because it's a little bit longer. So we're going to move to the next slide about the university. We have more than 8,000 students population and over 300 international students representing 50 different countries and 140 plus student organizations. And we have one live lion here on campus. Where would you see a live lion? Here at UNM. So if you go to our website, you will see the live cam, or so that you can see our lion, Leo. So please feel free to go to our website to see our lion. What he does, he comes out to take sun bath and just roam around. Unfortunately, his sister passed away last year, and so he's alone. Next slide. And I'm just going to go read past that slide, Stacy. We are reputable, affordable, and flexible is because of all our programs that have highest accreditations, ranking, honors, and meets all different QM standards. We are also affordable because of different scholarships that we provide, and which I will touch that scholarship later on. Flexible, you can take the courses online right now and then come here on campus later on. You can also start as a high school student if you are a sophomore, junior, or senior year in high school. You can also start taking an early college courses. So there's a lot of flexibility, and which will meet your needs. Again, it's not on this slide, but I wanted to just quickly touch base on some of the activities that we have. There's so many different sporting events, game rooms, student recreation, free movie nights, student government, organization that we have, outdoor adventure. We also have host families, which when you come here to UNA, you will have your American host family that will really help you to experience American family life. There is an opportunity to work on campus, and here on campus, 20 hours, opportunity for CPT, OPT. There's just ample opportunity for you if you decided to come to the United States to study and to earn your degrees. Top programs, we have over 50 different undergraduate programs here at UNA. Some of the top majors, we have computer science, engineering technology, business, nursing, education. All of these are very popular among our international students. We do have other majors, so just reach out to us based on your interest, and then we will try to help you and assist you find the best fit for you, and also try to find if we have the programs for you. If we don't, then there is other schools that, some of our colleagues that they have presented, some of them, they are going to present your schools. So we have everything for you here in Alabama. Top graduate majors, of course, MBA, mathematics, applied manufacturing, engineering, kinesiology, professional studies. I'm trying to go fast because we have very limited time. I also wanted to point out on the spot. I think you're going a little bit faster, Stacy, on the PowerPoint. Yeah, we couldn't go back. Anyway.
Do you need me to go back?
Yes, please.
I'm on the scholarship screen. Are you seeing that?
You are on the, okay, yes, if you stay on the scholarship screen.
Okay, all right. I think there's a delay on what you see and what I push, so.
Okay. So as my other colleagues from other schools have mentioned about the 2+2 transfer pathway, if you come to any of the Alabama community college, the process for transfer is very seamless, and there is additional scholarship of what you are seeing right now. It shows academic scholarship of $3,000 to $6,000 per year. However, we have increased our scholarship, and then the new scholarship that you can qualify is up to $10,000 per year. So it'll be $5,000 per semester, and also free housing on campus. Where would you get a free housing? Here at UNA. So You know, when you come here to United States or when you come here to UNA to earn your undergraduate degree or your graduate degree, bachelor's or master's, you get to stay for free. You don't have to pay a penny for your housing. That's the scholarship part. If you go to the next slide on the on-campus cost, please. So for undergraduate, you see the cost with tuition fees, housing, meal plans, books and supplies. This also includes health insurance. After scholarship, it's $10,486 per semester. That's after scholarship. With the new increase of scholarship, it will be about close to 8,500. This page has not been updated, and I'm sorry. So you are looking less than 20,000 per year of your tuition fees, meal plans, books and supplies, and health insurance per year. For graduate students, the tuition fees, again, after scholarship, per year with the new scholarship would be about 15 to 16,000 a year. That's pretty, you know, affordable compared to other four-year institutions. And if you need more information, breakdown of the cost, please feel free to reach out, and we are happy to share all the information to you. Again, you don't have to submit separate application to receive this scholarship. These scholarships are automatic. So when you apply and you are admitted to the university, you will receive all the scholarships that we are awarding to our international students. We do have an on-campus, when I said flexible, we have an on-campus now, online now, on campus later. So if you choose to start your undergraduate program right now and take one course online or two courses online, then you get one course free, and then you pay for the second course is $1,050 per class. There will be a little bit of a discount of the $1,050. So when you apply, there will be an additional discount. This is, so online now, on campus later, we are, you know, as I mentioned, first online course free, minimum 6 credit hours is required, and 20% discount of tuition for any additional course. We are waiving a $100 application fee right now. And also for any, if you have any graduate students, then there is no GRE or GMAT required. Stacy, would you please go to the application process? Next slide.
I've got it on campus now, campus later.
Yes, can you go to the next slide? This is already covered.
Yeah, okay. So we're moving on
Okay.
now to Hannah Murphy.
No, we're moving on to the application process. You don't have that one on the slide?
No,
it looks
I
like-
don't have that.
Okay. There is no slide, but let me just quickly tell you about the application process. We do
Okay.
not require SAT, and also no SAT or SAT test required. Our IELTS is 5.5, Duolingo 95. We also have academic English program. So if you don't have English proficiency test, then you can apply to our academic English program. We have online option or on-campus option. But Please feel free to reach out for any questions that you have, and we are here to help you and assist you to achieve your dreams and goals. Thank you very much again for your time, and to the next person.
Okay, last but not least, Hannah Murphy from the University of South Alabama. And we will make sure that we have time to do questions. If anybody has questions, we will answer them. Hannah, thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Again, my name is Hannah Murphy. I am the Director of Global Outreach at the University of South Alabama. You can see this picture here of our campus. It's a beautiful green campus. The next slide shows you where we're located in the state. You've heard from a lot of wonderful institutions in different parts of the state of Alabama today. We are located all the way on the very southern coast of the state in a city called Mobile. Mobile is about a 2-hour drive from New Orleans, about an hour flight from Atlanta, and an 1.5-hour flight from both Dallas and Houston. So we're very well connected to the entire southeastern region of the US, but also in terms of international airports and coming and going, we're very close to those. Next slide, please. The next slide is about the Gulf Coast region. So that is where we are located. It is known for its white sand beaches and warm weather. Stacy reviewed the average temperatures for the entire state a little bit earlier. Since we are further south, we have a slightly warmer weather. So our summer average high is 32. It's a very hot and humid climate in the summer. Spring and fall are about 25, 26, and our average winter high is 16. So we have beaches within driving distance of campus and about 220 days of sun throughout the year. The next slide will show you some photos of the city of Mobile. The city itself is about 200,000 people, so a medium-sized city. Stacy, if you can go to the next slide, please. There we go. So you can see some photos of the city, medium size, so big enough that there's plenty of opportunities. There's fun things to do, but it's a bit smaller, quieter, and lower cost of living than some larger cities. The university itself is about 14,000 students, making South Alabama a medium-sized institution. Our average class size is about 22 students. We have over 100 different degree programs, 18 research centers, and 250 student organizations for you to join. Next slide, please, Stacy.
It went. I just hope you can see it.
It's coming. The next slide is about our campus. So when it comes through, you'll be able to see some photos of our beautiful green campus. It's about 5 square kilometers in size. So it's full of open green spaces where students love to spend time outdoors, study together. We also have walking trails on our campus, and this mixture of newer architecture and older architecture. So we have some historic buildings on campus, but also state-of-the-art facilities for academics and research, athletics and recreation, as well as on-campus housing options for students. Next slide, please. We have over 100 different programs, like I mentioned earlier, and they take place within our different colleges and schools. So these are the colleges and schools that we have. Computer science, business, and engineering are generally our most popular programs for international students. But regardless of the program that you're studying in, you'll find a very real emphasis on bringing the real world into the classroom, providing students with hands-on opportunities. And so that could be working in the human patient simulation lab if you are interested in the health sciences. That could be working at our coastal weather research lab, or it could be working in the entirely student-run investment fund that we have within our College of Business. So you'll find you have a lot of opportunities to get that experience that you need to take with you when you graduate. Next slide, please. We are a high-level research institution, and you can see from our research highlights here that research spans a lot of different fields. So if you're interested in research as an undergraduate student, you have a lot of opportunities here at the University of South Alabama, everything from archaeology to forensics and IT. We have a cancer research institute, as well as being part of a group of universities that have a research facility on an island just south of the coast. That's the Dauphin Island Sea Lab, where a lot of our marine science students are able to do their work. The next slide is about our campus life. So I mentioned the student organizations earlier, as well as on-campus housing. We also are NCAA Division I for athletics. So we do have quite a few great teams on our campus, and you're able to attend different events and participate. We also have student support services for all of our students. So you never are having to choose your classes on your own, or think about your internships or job applications. We have resources on our campus to assist our students from the very beginning of your time at the University of South Alabama, all the way through to graduation and when you join our alumni network. Next slide. I have a slide here about our admissions requirements for both undergraduate and graduate, but we also have transfer students. We love to welcome transfer students onto our campus as well. So for our transfer students, if you've taken an English course through your associate's degree, you do not have to submit an English proficiency requirement as long as you received a passing grade in that class. So if you do choose to attend one of the many wonderful community colleges in the state of Alabama, University of South Alabama is also an option for you in terms of transfer. If we have graduate students in the audience, these are our minimum requirements. They do differ slightly program to program at the graduate level. So if you are interested in graduate programs, I recommend reaching out to me directly, and I can send you a program overview with the specifics for your graduate program. The final slide that I want to share with you about the University of South Alabama is our cost slide. We include an estimated cost of living, your health insurance, and your books in our total cost. So you can see this is 2 semesters, so a full year of study at South Alabama. For undergraduate students, you're looking on average about $32,000 to $33,000 per year. And for graduates, it's about $28,000 to $29,000 per year. Now, we do have scholarships both for freshman applicants and transfer applicants at the undergraduate level, and then assistantship and departmental funding opportunities for our graduate level students. I hope you enjoyed learning about our different institutions today. We'll make sure that we get our contact slide up one more time so that you're able to reach out to any of us when you have questions. All
And
right.
I'm gonna open it up for questions if anybody has them. We're still here and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. I've been trying to tag questions in the chat as I've seen them. But if any questions do, please put them in the chat. We'll be happy to address any of your questions and concerns.
Excellent. Thank you, Stacy. I do have some questions that students usually have when they reach out to the Education USA office here in Managua, Nicaragua. For example, one of the questions that I usually get is, can first-year students live off campus in their first year, first year of college? This is so that some may have like a family member and they may want to live in their house, maybe to save money, or sometimes parents have this closeness with their kids and they don't want to let go that much, so they feel that more confident or more they feel better sometimes if a family member is watching over their kids. This is very common in our Latin American community, by the way. So
funny enough, you'd have no choice but to live off campus if you came to Jeff State, because we don't have any dorms. So because we have so many apartments in the city of Birmingham, and there's several close to our different campuses, we don't even have dorms. So students would have to live off campus to come to Jeff State. There are other community colleges that have dorms. Most of the community colleges do not have housing requirements at all. They have availability for dorms, but it's always optional at the community colleges. I find with a lot of the universities, especially if you have a family member that lives within close driving distance, usually they'll waive that first year housing requirement. I worked at one of the regional universities. I worked at the University of Alabama at Birmingham for 17 years. And that was always the case, especially if you had a relative. Now, in the case for immigration purposes, everybody's got to show living expenses. This may vary by institution, but for example, if I have students that have a family member here, we actually waive part of the living expenses for immigration purposes to do the F1 visa. So it's actually very beneficial if you have someone that you can stay with. So absolutely, I totally understand the family relationship, especially these days. I think that's very critical. If they have a family friend or a family member here and it's comfortable, always, I think most universities would work with you. Hannah, do you want to address that for your institution?
Yeah, and I think too, a lot of times as I talk to prospective students, it can be sometimes frustrating for students to hear "it depends" as the answer, but because there are so many institutions in the US and we do have different policies, it is going to depend on the institution that you are applying to, what your housing requirement may be, if there is a first year requirement, or perhaps it's an entirely residential campus. And so you might be living on campus for all 4 years. So that really is just going to differ institution to institution.
Good question, Jackson. You got more?
Right. Also age. Here in Nicaragua, we do not have 12th grade. Students graduate in 11th grade, which is their last year of high school. So the majority of them will be graduating at the age of 16. I know that some institutions may have a requirement that they must be 17 or close to 18 as as a requirement for admissions. What is your state on that matter from all of you guys? Do you guys have any age requirement?
From the community college standpoint, as long as a person has graduated from high school, they can attend. I've had a student as young as 15. So yes, institutionally, that is the one requirement we're looking at. Again, we're not dealing with housing in our particular case. Right. There may be, if schools have dormitory requirements for community college, they may have housing stipulations because of age. But as far as acceptance, not for the community college, no. Shelly, you want to start for ARC Pool?
Yeah, sure. Same with admission, we are looking just for completion there. So that's fine. We evaluate students based on where they're coming from. So, we would be aware of the Nicaraguan, you know, school methods and such. So it should not be any kind of an issue with anything with us.
Thank you.
At South Alabama, we do require students to be 17 at the time that they start classes. So if a student is applying, let's say, while they are 16, but they are going to be 17 by the time classes start, that would be okay. We just do have that requirement about 17 by the time classes begin.
Akali?
For UNA, we don't have the requirement. We just look at the students' completion of high school. We have some students came here. I think she's from India, and she's only 16 years old. And so, we don't have that age requirement. We just look into the students' high school completion.
Shelly?
Oh yeah, I think I'd already answered. I think Chandni maybe next.
I was trying to do this last, sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, we're just like UNA. We do not have any age limitation for the residence requirement. So as long as they have completed their high school and are admitted as a freshman, they can live on campus regardless of their age.
Oh, great. Great, thank you. Also, when transferring from a community college to a four-year institution, in this case, are there any possibilities for students to get, a higher amount of funding or financial aid, or just the amount that you guys have stated so far? Is full funding maybe an option?
Complete full funding is going to be something that is probably rare at most institutions. And if they do have full funding opportunities, they're going to be very, very competitive. That isn't to say that it's not a possibility, but when students are thinking of their budget and looking for institutions that fit within that budget, I would suggest looking at what those posted scholarships are and including that into your kind of estimated cost of attendance. I don't know if anybody here wants to talk about their specific scholarships or if anybody does have anything similar to full funding.
I would add too with scholarships offered through admissions that sometimes at the departmental level there may be some funding too, but that honestly varies so much from year to year that we hesitate to mention that sometimes. For example, like our engineering program at Alabama offers money almost every semester, but it's tentative and it's not a guarantee either. So there are opportunities that may be put together that might come close to full funding, but like Hannah said, it is quite rare.
Thank you.
There's something I want to throw out there that most students don't think about, and this is something that's a benefit of going through the process of using your start of your education at a community college. So if you're an F1 international student in the United States, one of the benefits that you get after you finish an associate's degree is you get something called optional practical training. So what some students do is they do their first 2 years with a community college, because not everybody is that 4.0 student. Not everybody is the student that's going to necessarily reach the qualification to do those full scholarships. But you do have an opportunity to work for a year between your associate's degree and starting the rest of your bachelor's degree. It's just an alternative way. I've had a lot of students, for example, that will do their first 2 years of computer science at the community college, and they'll go work like a year, an internship for 6 months to a year, and use some of that money towards their educational expenses. So it's just another way to think about, if you're thinking about funding as an issue, if you kind of stagger things a little bit. And a lot of students that are strong performers at the community college have great opportunities that they've already mentioned here. You know, again, not everybody is the strongest student in high school. College is a chance to start all over again, and you can be a stronger student. Maybe you can be that scholarship student. Maybe you don't qualify for that now if you didn't perform at the highest level that you wanted to in high school. So that's a second opportunity to reap some of these scholarships. So I've had some students who've been very successful at that.
Thank you. Great. This is great information when it comes to affordability and students reaching their maximum potential when it comes to, you know, finding the right fit and that institution that is going to be for them. Now, there's one concern that I got through one of my the chat from one of the parents that is probably still in the presentation right now. It's vaccines. I know that right now the U.S. is getting vaccinated, and it is you know, it's a process that is going on. However, here in Nicaragua, the process is really slow. This is something that, you know, pertains particularly to my country. You know, it started. The process is starting probably people of elderly right now. So we don't even know when our youth is going to get vaccinated in this sense. I know that a lot of institutions are requiring vaccination in order to get admitted or even to start, you know, fall 2021. Where do you guys stand on vaccination for international students? Is it a
You know, the
requirement?
thing is we've already been having students come, even during COVID, I've had students come. And generally what we require is that they quarantine themselves for at least 14 days when they arrive. So I don't think that the protocol, at least for my institution, will be any different. If you're coming from abroad, you don't have a vaccine, you know, you need to arrive early enough to make sure you're quarantined, you know, until you get over the quarantine period. And you've got to, of course, have COVID-free tests to even get on an airplane these days. So,
Right.
you know, so all of that, those protocols aren't changing, at least for now. And then honestly, the opportunity to get a vaccine is probably, you know, it'll be here if they want it. Because they've just lowered the ages, and at least in the state of Alabama, they've now lowered it to the age of 16. So just about anybody can get it now if they want it. So students of our colleges are now able to get it. So so maybe you don't have it before you come, but you could get it when you get here. So
Great. Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful. That's wonderful. That's a concern that I got from one of the parents on my WhatsApp.
yeah, and I
So,
see there's a question in here from Kevin S in the chat about, what if a student wants to go straight to community college instead of university because they don't feel comfortable with the knowledge they acquired in high school? That's a very good point. That's kind of what I had already mentioned. You know, a community college is a great place to begin again if you need to do that. You know, because there are some students that may not be able to reach the university requirements for admission from high school. The community colleges don't put those stipulations on there. We have to have proof that you finished, that you graduated from secondary. So, I mean, I know that sounds like a low bar, but it's because we're what we call an open enrollment institution. That's the whole point of it, is to give opportunity and second chances. And so we get students, I've got students from the age of 15 to 62. I mean, literally, everybody can start fresh and do something different if they need to. So that was a good question, though. Did you have other ones, Jackson?
and there's one last one that I see on the chat box here, which says, which grade do you take into consideration? As I said previously, here in Nicaragua, students go up to 11th grade. So will they have to present or in their transcript 8th grade as well? So 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade as part of a high school transfer?
For community college, no. We need proof that secondary completion was done and that you've got
Just
the equivalent of a U.S. high school diploma. That's it.
right. Yeah, yeah. The thing is that here, usually in high school, they will include 8th grade, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade as part of high school. Will that be any obstacle in reporting transcripts?
not for the community college. I can't attest to that for the other institutions. If anybody else wants to address that.
At our school, we only look at 9th, 10th, and 11th. So last 3 years, even if you submit the transcript with, from 7th through 11th, we will be only looking at 9th through 11th. So it shouldn't be a problem if the report shows everything on there.
Great. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. Any ending words on your behalf, my dear colleagues?
I would just like to say thank you so much for sharing this opportunity with us and letting us talk to you about Alabama, the state, the institutions that we have, and everything that we have to offer. We hope that you learned some information about the state and our institutions, and we share our contact information with you because we do encourage you to reach out. You have wonderful resources with Education USA. And so I'm glad we were able to partner here to talk about the services in country as well as share information from universities in the US. So please feel free to reach out. I also want to make a note that we have Study Alabama's contact information on there as well. So if you are interested in learning about more of the opportunities in the state, definitely reach out. There's a Study Alabama website as well, where you can learn about all of the different institutions throughout the state at a variety of different educational levels.
And one thing that we did not mention during this program is that several of our universities and one of our community colleges also offers intensive English programs. So if you have students that don't quite meet the English requirements, there are opportunities to go ahead and come and study intensive English for college prep while they're here. And then they can transfer to the university or college of their choice after they do finish their English program. So that is also an opportunity, and several of the schools here have their own intensive English programs in their institutions. So we didn't mention that, but I think that is something, because somebody mentioned something about ESL in the chat. So I wanted to state that. So thank you, Jackson, so much for inviting us. We really appreciate it. This was great. And we will be sharing this recording with Jackson so that he can get it out to people if they have questions. And please do feel free to email studyalabama.us@gmail.com, or you can even go to the website of studyalabama.us. All of our institutions are on there. So if you have questions, you can start there. If you get stuck, feel free to email us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.